All right. So I got my thing here. Oh no, why does it not work? Oh man. Court. Okay, there you go. So what I enjoyed about accomplishment coaching was that it was very immersive. It was super hands-on, right? We had oh, interesting. You cannot minimize. So weird to be able to see yourself like that. So you want to make sure that it's an internationally ICF certified program. That's the governing body that helps make the coaching industry like a lot more legitimate. You want to be able to so these are the five tools that I have personally used that have helped me out a lot in life. The distinctions and the tools are the overwhelm cycle, the essence and survival mechanism, reading our values, context versus content, and a completion exercise, which helps you when you're kind of stuck on stuff and you want to be able to process things. And what I really appreciated about accomplishment coaching is that um, we dug really deep into what's our context around business, money, spirituality, family, and relationships. Um, so it is a year-long program, so it's very intense. Think of it as like going to get your MBA pretty much. So it's very like and depending on how involved you want to be, right? Not everyone was like as gung-ho as I was, but if you want to get the most out of this program, like you want to make sure you have the bandwidth to be able to do something like this. So the logistics are it was $16,500. So that's not cheap. Luckily I was able to break it up over months. So I got like 1,000, whatever that math is, 16,000 divided by 500 divided by 12. And we had, if I was to guess, I would say maybe like 10 to 15 hours of work every week. So that's over 52 weeks, right? So that's certainly a commitment you want to make sure you're able to make. Oh, is my mic good? Let me see. Yep, mic is good. Okay. That's a commitment that you want to make sure you're able to make. Um, some of the folks in that community have been some of my best friends like throughout the years, like going to Jeff Zakarsky's bachelor party, um, doing business with Nicole and being able to help her with her programs and hanging out with Sue Ann and Antonio all the time. So really good people. Um, so in summary, I would say the three aspects that I really enjoyed about it is like how immersive that experience was. Being able to have a pretty strong and thoughtful curriculum, right? Every month we had different homework assignments. It was a combination of books, videos, movies. So reading books on like spirituality, conversations with God was like an amazing one. How to build your coaching practice. Also, the community is super supportive, like folks that I like the because you know how when you're going through a rut, like the first people that come to mind that I would personally call are folks from accomplishment coaching. So if you're looking for community, you're looking for support, coaching could definitely help you with that. Pros and cons in investing in a coaching certification. You want to be able to ask questions and be able to ask a lot of people's perspective because everyone has a different perspective on things, right? Um, the good thing about coaching programs is you'll be able to have solid skills that can help you that are transferable across life. So being able to have better self-awareness, being able to have figure out, hey, what's my relationship to money? Why do I get triggered by money? How do I rewire my brain to be able to have a more abundant mindset versus having a scarcity context, right? Um, some of the things to consider when investing in a coaching certification is, I mean, it's not cheap, right? If you have student loans, you have a lot of debt, you definitely want to have a conversation with your partner, your spouse about it, your financial advisor. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. And it might seem like a pretty high upfront cost, but long term, it'll help you be able to make more money because you're investing in being able to really understand yourself a lot more and being able to, just tap into your greatness at the end of the day. So the time commitment, I would say I invested at least. I would say 10 to 15 hours a month in terms of finishing the books, finishing homework assignments. And I was pretty gung ho. I would say I did a lot more than the average person. So it's just something to consider. Um, there's a lot of different coaching programs out there. You want to make sure you do your research, read some reviews. Nowadays, there's reviews all over the place, which is why I'm creating this because I want you to, yes, I'm talking about accomplishment coaching, but I want you to be able to read different reviews because everyone has different opinions on things. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to folks that have done the program before, get some time in their calendar, right? Because at the end of the day, obviously the marketing pitch, they're gonna try to sell you the dream, but the reality is something a little bit closer towards. So you want to make sure you gather a lot of data points. Um, so these are some of the things that I have personally got out of investing in accomplishment coaching, which is you're able to have a better relationship with yourself and others. You'll be able to like heal and dude, it's crazy. I remember crying 180 days out of the 365 days, which is insane. But that's because I was going through like a lot and I was just trying to find myself at the end of the day. You'll be able to make more money, so you'll be able to like bring in more money because a lot of us have self-limiting beliefs. It's like, hey, I'm not good looking enough. I'm not talented enough. I didn't go to good school, whatever it is. Like we all have our version of excuses. Um, so when you have these breakthroughs, you're able to grow and just be able to have a more empowering relationship. So some people, it's like, hey, I'm only a good mid-market account executive. Like I won't be able to succeed in enterprise. So a lot of these are unconscious. So it's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's easy, but it'll make you a better person. Being able to just be more adaptable, especially if we're juggling a lot of things at once. I was doing this in addition to a full-time job, and I think I was like getting my MBA at the same time. So it was just like a lot. So just be thoughtful in your how much bandwidth and but at the end of the day, it's totally worth it. I would highly recommend coaching, whether it's hiring a coach. Um, some of the breakthroughs I had when working. So I'll give you my breakthroughs with working with a bunch of different coaches, so you have different perspectives. Alex Terranova was my coach at the time, and he helped me be able to work on some of my people pleasing tendencies and just to stay true to myself, right? He helped me be able to advocate for myself, be able to speak my mind, not being afraid of the what other people think. Mark Hunter, I've been working with for 4 or 5 years. It's been a while, and Mark was able to help me be able to just be able to pursue more passion projects, work on my YouTube channel, being more of a thought leader, content creation, things like this. Having that accountability has been super helpful. Um, hey, Ken, thank you for. Hey, thanks, Alec. I appreciate you hitting that like. How do I measure ROI, right? This is important. This is something that people probably think about. I mean, $16,500 is not cheap, but if you think about it, is having a better life, getting a job that I enjoy, and being able to like have a better relationship with my friends and family, and ultimately loving myself, is that worth it? I would say so, right? It's like we can choose to spend that money on foods, going to nice restaurants, or we can choose to invest in ourselves. And of course, it's scary to invest in yourself, but at the end of the day, you'll become a better person. You'll be able to actually execute on the things that you want. You won't put off things, you won't procrastinate. Is it a silver bullet? No. Do you have to put in the amount of work and the sweat equity? Absolutely. Is it worth it? I would say so. So these are the things that I would think about before investing in coaching in general. So what are your goals? Like why are you trying to do all this, right? Like what is it all for? Is it to become a better manager, people leader? Is it so I could be a better listener with my kids, my wife? Are you trying to start a side hustle? Are you trying to make passive income, whether that's through public speaking or making courses, right? These are all things that coaching can help you with. So it is a commitment. Like I said, it's very similar to getting your MBA. So it's not easy. You know, each coaching program is different. So make sure you ask a lot of questions. And yeah, at the end of the day, you know, you might feel like you don't have money, but sometimes you got to take a leap of faith in yourself. If you believe in yourself and you know what you're capable of, sometimes it does make sense to just throw it on a credit card and you'll figure it out, you know. Sometimes there's not a formula for everything, but there is something to be said about just investing in yourself at the end of the day. Um, so I want to just talk a little bit more about our the return on investment because I think that's an important question and something to consider. So sometimes it's hard to put a dollar sign on like healing and love and community vulnerability, right? It's like, how do you quantify loving yourself more? How do you quantify like having more confidence in yourself? It's hard for me to be like, oh, because I invested in this program, it led for me to get a $40,000 raise. Like, yes, the program was a significant part of it, but another person who might not take as much action, who did not read all the books, didn't do all the homework, they might not necessarily get as much out of it, right? So you have to be willing to ask yourself, like, am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to put in the sweat equity? And you'll thank yourself at the end of the day, but it's not easy. So I just wanted to. So we'll conclude with coaching. This is more specific to accomplishment coaching. Was transformative, 100%. It led to publishing a lot of books, you know, I have 4 books, one on the way, um, having all this podcasts. But if I was to look back to 2018, the thing that I think I was most grateful for is just like community and just having like a good group of amazing people to hang out with and to talk to, like just really close friends. So if you are interested in coaching, feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to support you on your journey. I'll be doing a lot more of these live streams to talk about the various coaching programs I've done. So if you do like it, feel free to post and post below and let me know if you enjoyed this. Cheers.